We are live. We're looking live. Pillager High School Stadium. Golden Tones of Zach Corellis just around the corner.
I'd say silver, maybe.
Silver Tones, okay.
Welcome back out to Pillager High School. Sam Parsons with you here. Once again, a big thank you to Paul Peterson and Eric Olson, both of the coaches for tonight's game, for giving me their time before today's contest to chat about what's to come here tonight. And, well, like I said earlier, got a lot to talk about. We'll start by talking about this Pillager team, just to set the stage here. Coming to this game 0-1 last Thursday because they played last Thursday because of Labor Day weekend. The Huskies were shut out by Holly 22-0. Here is the context behind that performance. It was a very rainy Friday. And also, as Coach Peterson alluded to in our pregame conversation, they were missing two key starters. They were missing their right tackle, senior right tackle Evan Ingram, and also one of their best offensive weapons, Quentin Laveau. Both of those guys were out. Both of them are back tonight. So certainly expect to see improvement there. Eli Miller was the guy who led the way on the ground for the Huskies last week. He had 26 carries for 125 yards. Jacob Dixon was right behind him. I shouldn't say right behind him. He had 15 carries for 45 yards. The Huskies, just to give you an idea of how sloppy the play was as a result of that rain last week, they only attempted 5 passes, and they completed none of them. So I can't imagine a reality in which it's easy to throw a ball in those conditions. So, again, the context behind that game. Otter Central, on the other hand, coached by Eric Olson. Last Friday, they were one of the teams that actually did play last Friday in advance of Labor Day weekend. They beat Breckenridge 22-8. Tanner Arndt had 12 pass attempts in that game. He completed 7 of them for 116 yards. Calvin Stuvey led the way on the ground with 17 carries for 89 yards and a score, but a big note there. He is nowhere to be found on the field here in the pregame, and I noticed before we got started here, his name was removed from their starting lineup. So in today's day and age, he could be out for any number of reasons, maybe COVID-related, but I'm not going to speculate on that. Regardless, it seems like Calvin Stuvey, their senior, one of their best players, is going to be out tonight. But behind him, they had another one of their key players, Mason Hammer, their fullback. He had 18 carries for 61 yards in the 22-8 win last week, and he is a junior. Both of those backs are, I should say, Mason Hammer and Bricker Blado. They're two backs that they'll be using, featuring heavily tonight, are both juniors. As far as the history of this matchup between these two teams goes, because I mentioned that these two teams are familiar with each other, Otter Central won last year 22-6 on October 15th. Titan Skisik's 10-yard touchdown catch in the fourth quarter provided the only scoring for Pillager in that game. Bricker Blado led the way for the Otter Central Bulldogs. He had 11 carries for 58 yards and his score in that game. And going back further than that, Pillager has won 2 out of their last 5 matchups against Otter Central. They last won in 2019 by a score of 28-10, and that was the last time that OTC made the trip here to Pillager. So hoping for a similar result tonight if you're a Huskies fan. Now, really quick, as we start to wind things down in our pregame show, we're less than 10 minutes away from kickoff, it appears. Talking about keys to the contest here tonight. Now, talked about this with both of the coaches. Neither one of these teams, you have Pillager on one hand who runs a lot of the flex bone. They run 2 wingbacks and a fullback directly behind the quarterback. Otter Central runs a lot of wing T, where they have a fullback directly behind the quarterback, a halfback to the left or right of the fullback, and then a wing back and a tight end. And so both of these teams, and neither one of them will be trying to fool each other tonight. They're both going to be very much old school, ground and pound, hit him right at him, and let's see whose big guys beat the other big guys. And so, as a result, that's going to be my key, my biggest key to the game when both of these teams are so ground heavy, and both teams also like to stack the box with 8 guys on defense. The key to this game is going to be offensive line and defensive line performance. Which team is going to be able to have their run fits really fit in well on defense? Which team's offensive line is going to dominate at the point of attack? That's going to be the biggest key to this game tonight. But also, in particular, for just take a team by team. For Pillager, I would say an extra key to this game for them would be to set the edge, which doesn't really make much sense because Otter essentially you would think if they're going to keep it on the ground, then why would Pillager need to worry about setting the edge beyond, just blocking outside sweeps? Well, as I mentioned, when I was watching the recap of last week's game with Otter Central, they did throw 12 passes in that game, and a lot of their biggest chunk plays on their biggest drives were through the air, and those happened with Tanner Arndt on play action rolling out. Pretty much all of them were play action passes with Tanner Arndt, and obviously that comes from setting up the run game, but Arndt was rolling out of the pocket, and so if Pillager can set the edge and stop him from getting into that open field and being able to see the field out there outside of the pocket and get to him quickly, then sacks can be drive killers, especially if you have 2 teams here, like I mentioned, that are so built on the ground game. For Otter Central, also, I should mention that Paul Peterson, of course, as always, mentioned their mantra, don't beat Pillager. I think that's another key to the game for the Huskies. Needless to say, they need to minimize the cost of their mistakes because they're always going to make mistakes. Nobody is perfect. They have to minimize the cost of those and don't let those compound. Key for them is going to be bend, don't break. Pillager is bringing back a lot of their players right now. They have like I mentioned, a more healthy offense than they did last week. So it's going to be a tough ask for this OTC team to stop this Pillager offense from moving the ball down the field. The key is late in drives when the field starts to get more condensed. Can they make run fits happen better and stop Pillager late in drives as they get closer to the red zone? Because kicking game not going to be much of a factor for either team tonight, so neither of these teams are really going to be settling for field goals. Those, I would say, would be the keys to the game tonight, and now we are just a few minutes away, about to get to the national anthem here tonight, so we're going to step aside. When we come back, we're going to introduce our starting lineups for both of these teams, and in a few minutes, we'll have opening kickoff. You're listening to us here on WWWI-FM Pillager, Brainerd Baxter, Cash 95, and also on rjbroadcasting.com. We'll be back after this.
Now, please join us in a moment of silence as we remember the innocent men and women and children who lost their lives in Pennsylvania, the Pentagon, the World Trade Center, and on the streets of New York on the morning of September 11, 2001. We remember the heroic New York City police officers, firefighters, and EMS personnel who lost their lives while saving the lives of thousands. And we remember the thousands of military personnel who have fought, as well as those who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the subsequent war on terrorism.
Wyatt's Major Appliance in Brainerd is now selling America's iconic brand, Crosby Appliances, the best in the business.
Thank you. The anthem tonight will be performed by the Pillager Pep Band, directed by Rob Freelove. Thank you, Rob Freelove and the Pillager Pep Band. Now your starting lineups tonight. The starting lineup is the defense for those Bulldogs coming from OT. First up, tackle, 65.
Welcome back out to Pillager High School. It's Sam Parsons here with you, and back with our pregame show here. We're just a few minutes away from opening kickoff, I should say. Used to basketball for some reason, but obviously very much excited for football season. My favorite sport from a personal standpoint. But in any case, folks, told you we would get to our starting lineups tonight. Well, because it seems as though Pillager won the coin toss, they elected to defer, and it's going to be Otter Central receiving the opening kickoff here. So I will announce the Otter Central starters on offense and the Pillager starters on defense. We will, of course, get to their counterparts later on when they take the field. But the Otter Central starting lineup is as follows. At quarterback, they are starting number 3, Tanner Arndt. At running back, it's going to be number 22, Bricker Blado. Their fullback in this contest is number 23, Mason Hammer. Owen Bueller, number 2, is going to be the slot back. At split end, they have number 4, Tyson Misagades. At tight end, they have number 9, Drew Johnson. Their tackles tonight are number 65, Johnny Fielding on the right side, and number 72, Joe Turchin on the left. For the guards, they have number 51, Carter Kenyon on the right side, and number 57, Sammy Jossard on the left, and at center, number 56, Lane Dilly. For your home Pillager Huskies, their starting lineup tonight is as follows on defense. Their outside backers tonight are number 87, Titan Skisick, and number 81, Kobe Schultz. And at nose tackle, it's going to be number 50, senior Abe Posner. Defensive tackle tonight is going to be number 56, Jack Anderson, and their defensive end is number 66, Zach McKeel. At their inside backer spots, they have number 67, Connor Tollefson, and number 2, Jacob Dixon. Their Husky safety, otherwise known as the strong safety, is going to be number 15, Cordell Welker. Their quarterbacks tonight are number 28, Eli Miller, and number 8, Parker Schaefer. And their free safety tonight is number 10, Christian Hoagie. Just moments away now for your First Western Bank and Trust opening kickoff. With First Western Bank and Trust, we are not just here for you, we are you, with locations in Baxter, Nisswa, and Cross Lake. Teams have taken the field. It is number 28, Eli Miller, booting it away right to left on your radio dial. Pillager wearing the maroon pants and maroon jerseys as well, with gold lettering and numbering. Otter Central with their white jerseys, black pants, red lettering and numbering. And for them, deep to return this one is their safety, Jack Nicholson. And with that, we are underway as it's a short line drive kick from Eli Miller, fielded on the play by OTC around the 30-yard line by number 32, Dallas Bush, and he doesn't get anywhere with that. Maybe taking it up about a yard or so. He stopped actually right there at the 30-yard line, and that is where this drive is going to start as OTC takes over on their own 30-yard line. Pillager's defense, again, they run 3 down linemen. They have 4 linebackers and a box safety. As it looks like, OTC is coming out in their classic wing tee, strong side to the right, wide receiver to the left. Tanner Arndt under center, hands off directly behind him to Mason Hammer. Hammer is able to outmuscle a few guys off to the right side and go up for about a 6-yard gain. He's up to the 36.
Second down and a long 4.
A good start to the drive there for the Bulldogs. That's the kind of run that you like on first down by Mason Hammer. And Mason Hammer, folks, lives up to his last name. He's 194 pounds. He's their biggest ball carrier, even if they had a healthy Calvin Stuvey, which they do not. Arndt under center, second down and 4. He takes the snap, play action, rolls out to the right side, fires downfield over the head of number 9, Drew Johnson, incomplete, and that is going to bring up third down. First pass attempt of the night for Tanner Arndt. Falls incomplete, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 4 situation, still certainly manageable if you're the Otter Central Bulldogs, but the Pillager Huskies here looking for a quick 3 and out to get us started. Again, we're just here in the first quarter. Plenty of other high school football matchups coming to Homegrown Local Radio tonight. Arndt under center on the wing T once again. Third down and 4, takes the snap. He's going to hand this one off to Blado off the left side. Blado gets up close to the first down marker, and will they get it to it? Looks like they will. He's down right at the 40, and yes, they're going to signal to move those chains. First and 10. Upcoming for OTC, and the 4-yard gain by David Blado got exactly what he needed, folks, by a matter of inches. Ball is going to be placed on the left hash here, first and 10. Strong side to the right here with the wing T once again. Arndt takes the snap, hands off to Hammer right behind him. Hammer drags some defenders now back with him, and it looks like Jacob Dixon, the inside linebacker, led the way on the tackle that time. Gave about 5. He gets up to the 45. Second and 5 coming up. Some good blocking at the play of attack in the run game so far for Otter Tail Central. They've looked good in the early going of this drive. We'll see if Pillager makes the adjustment. Able to start getting some penetration on defense. Under center once again is Arndt. He takes the snap. It's a play action. He rolls out to the right, fires downfield, and that's going to be dropped on the play by the fullback, Mason Hammer, who is open for a first down on the right side, but that is going to be incomplete and bring up a third down situation. So the second third down of this drive for Otter Tail Central. Last time, of course, they got that conversion. On 3rd and 4, this time it's 3rd and 5 from the 45. And it looks like the tight end Johnson and the split back are going to be off to the left side this time for Arndt. 3rd and 5. Takes the snap, Pillager blitzes, but they're not able to fill the gaps as Bricker Blado off the left tackle is going to get the first down, gain about 6-7 yards on that left side, and that's going to be a first down. And yes, they'll say that he got it up to the Pillager 45. And it's steady going here for the Otter Tail Central Bulldogs in this first drive. Under 10 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Still a 0-0 ball game. You're listening to us here on WWWI-FM Pillager, Cash 95. First down and 10 from Pillager's 48. Tanner Arndt under center again. He's going to hand this one off to Hammer straight up the middle, but he is swallowed up right there at the point of attack. And I believe, yes, that was number 54, Evan Ingram, on the tackle. Excellent stuff there. Ingram is not actually a starter on this defensive line for Pillager, but he's one of their biggest guys. And as a result, he can two-gap it on that defensive front. Second down and 9 yards after the short gain. Arndt takes the snap. He's play action, goes out to his right. Titan Skisic chasing him down, but Arndt gets it away on the right side, and that is going to be incomplete on the sideline. Defended that time by number 15, the safety, Cordell Welker, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 1 for the first time here on this drive. 3 straight incompletions to start the night for Tanner Arndt, but one of those, of course, was a drop. Ball on the Pillager 47. It's 3rd and 9. As now looks like Tyson Misagades is going to sub out for Jack McColson on Otter Tail Central. We'll see how Pillager approaches this defensively as, again, 3rd and 9. It looks like Arndt is still in the wing T. Owen Bueller, the wide receiver, out wide on the right side here, and now we got a timeout. Timeout taken by Eric Olson of the OTC Bulldogs, his first of the half. We'll step aside on that note. 0-0 ball game on your Shingle Decker Concrete and Construction scoreboard. We'll be back after this on Cash 95. Welcome back here to Pillager High School. Sam Parsons with you here. You might be listening to us on Cash 95 or rjbroadcasting.com. We are also broadcasting this on a video stream with Pillager High School, proudly partnering with them. It's a 3rd and 9 situation upcoming after this timeout for the Otter Central Bulldogs. 9th play of this opening drive coming up. They have taken over 3 minutes off the clock to start the game. But again, early on struggles have put them in a precarious spot here with a 3rd and long. So far, it's been Mason Hammer and Bricker Blada predictably leading the way for the Bulldogs on the ground. Here we are ready to play again. 3rd and 9, Arndt under center. Takes the snap, play action, rolls out to his right. He's got a man over the middle, doesn't see him, but now he throws back to him across the body, complete to Drew Johnson. That's going to be close to a first down, but actually he's not quite going to get there. He's a handful of yards short. Might have been brought back a little bit, but that's going to be just about a 6-yard completion there for Tanner Arndt. 1 for 4 for 6 yards so far. Completion again at that time to Drew Johnson, but that is going to bring up 4th down. We'll see if OTC decides to go for it. Indeed, they do on the Pillager 41-yard line. This is pretty much 4-down territory. 4th and 3 is the situation here from the Pillager 41. Big play coming up for the Bulldogs. Under center, Arndt hands this one off to Mason Hammer. He's got a first down straight up the middle, and a little more than that. He's going to get inside the 40, or inside the 35. Looked like he was brought down that time by Parker Schaefer. Gain of about 6 yards on the run for Mason Hammer. You know, that's a play call where, you know, a lot of people knew it was coming there, but Hammer at 194 pounds and good blocking from that offensive line from OTC gives them a first down, and the drive continues. 11th play of this drive coming up. On the Pillager 33-yard line. Arndt takes the snap, hands this one off to Hammer once again up the middle, and Hammer's got a lot of room there. He is brought down in the secondary by Eli Miller, but they're going to give him a gain of about 7 yards.
If they keep doing that,
5 carries for 25 yards on this drive for Mason Hammer, the junior fullback. Brings up 2nd and 3. Ball on the Pillager 25. OTC on the brink of the red zone here. Arndt takes the snap, hands this one straight up the gut again to Mason Hammer, and he's going to have a first down as he gets this one inside the 20, brought down on the play by number 56, Jack Anderson. They'll spot him at the 18. That's a 1st and 10. Gain of about 7 once again as this OTC running game is just chugging right along. 1st and 10 from Pillager's 18-yard line. A 13th play of the drive coming up. Arndt hands this one off to Hammer once again, but this time Pillager's ready for it. It looked like a slew of tacklers led that time by Abe Posner. Brought him down for a gain of about 4.
Huskies.
2nd down and 6 upcoming, and they've been riding Hammer very hard. He's got 7 carries for 36 yards, averaging over 5 yards a pop. Wing T once again for the Bulldogs. Arndt takes a snap, rolls out to make it bootleg off the right side, and he's got a little bit of room. He fakes out a defender, cuts back into the inside, and he's brought down inside the 5-yard line, close to the goal line that time, led by Cordell Walker on the defense, but that is going to be a first down for the Bulldogs once again. And that, they're going to spot him all the way down to the 1, a gain of about 14. On the run that time for Tanner Arndt, his first of the night. 15th play of the drive as OTC has taken over 7 minutes off the clock. Actually, just about 7 minutes. About 5 minutes left here in the first quarter. Arndt under center. Will he just sneak it? No, he's going to hand it off to Hammer. Hammer fumbles by the goal line. It looks like the Huskies have it. And they do. The Huskies make the goal line stand. I didn't see out of this bundle of defenders there who stripped it.
Yes.
I believe that might have been Bryce Hutchison who stripped the ball, but either way, Pillager is able to get the strip, and oh wow, what a heartbreaker for the OTC Bulldogs. Fumble on the play. They were all the way down to the 1 yard line. They had a 15-play, 70-yard drive going that just stopped with a fumble on the 1 yard line.
Yeah, they look
absolutely
heartbreaking
for the Bulldogs, and absolutely energizing for the sideline for the Pillager Huskies here. They're going to take over on offense on their own one. The fumble did not go into the end zone, so that's not going to be a touchback. Looks like the officials are conversing where they're going to leave this one. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back for the start of the next drive here on Cash 95 and rjbroadcasting.com after a word from our sponsors. Welcome back to Pillager High School. Sam Parsons with you here after a massive turnover by the Otter Central Bulldogs at the 1 yard line. They, again, had a 15-play, 70-yard drive going. And I am confused, folks. I don't know actually what the official ruling was there, but it actually looks like the Otter Central Bulldogs are back on offense. The officials conversed there for a few minutes, and now they're saying that Hammer was down.
It was second down. No, it was first down. It was first down. I get it first. Okay, second down. It should be second.
We'll try to find out what exactly just happened later, folks, but I stand corrected. They're going to say that they're just going to... They must have said that Hammer was down. From my vantage point, it really looked like Hammer was standing straight up when he lost that ball. But timeout is going to be taken here by Paul Peterson. They're going to have to recuperate after that because, man, that was such a wild swing of momentum early in this game. Otter Central just had Pillager on its heels that entire drive until it suddenly came to a stop with Mason Hammer fumbling at the 1 yard line. But now they're giving the ball back to the Bulldogs.
So it's first down still?
Oh, now, okay, so the head referee, Terry Eitner, came over and said that they're going to replay first down. We're going to take a break for this timeout. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors here on Cash 95 and rjbroadcasting.com while I try to figure out what the heck just happened. So why are they doing that?
Just replay the down.
Okay, thank you for the explanation. Oh, boy. All right, folks, we're back here at Pillager High School, and I figured out what the issue was last play. So they said that the official did not blow the whistle to signal the start of play, and that is why they're going to replay this down. So it's still first and goal for the Otter Central Bulldogs offense. Tanner Arndt under center. He's going to take this in himself, a sneak off the left gap, and that is going to be a touchdown for the Bulldogs as Arndt makes his way into the end zone. Arndt punches it in himself.
That was a wide split side.
And that is going to make the Bulldogs draw first blood. They'll obviously go for two here, not having a place kicker. It looks like they're coming out with a swinging gate type of a play to see what they get on defense, but Arndt is going to take the snap. So, yeah, he's going to roll out to his right here. Two options to his right, but he's not going to get into the end zone. Off to the right sideline. He dives to the power line. He's not going to get in.
No good.
2-point conversion attempt is no good.
50 to go in the first quarter. OTC 6.
So with that, it's still 6-0 OTC. 4:49 to go here in the first quarter. The Bulldogs were able to get the first touchdown of the game after a bit of a wacky sequence of events, but we'll take a quick break here. Hear from our sponsors. We'll be right back on Cash 95 and RJBroadcasting.com. So the OTC Bulldogs do get the 15-play, 70-yard touchdown drive to open the action tonight. 4:49 to go here in the first quarter. The Bulldogs lead the Huskies 6-0. And if nothing goes awry on this kick return, the Huskies are about ready to take the field for the first time on offense tonight after that long drive that took over 7 minutes. Doing the kicking for OTC tonight is Mason DeLugie. Kicking the left to right on your radio dial. Deep to return this thing. It's Quentin Laveau for the Huskies. And that is a kick. And unfortunately, a mental mistake that time by Quentin Laveau of the Huskies. That ball was on its way out of bounds, but Laveau touched it, and that ball did go out of bounds at the 11-yard line, and that is where the Huskies are going to start this drive. If Laveau just let it go, they would have been starting on their own 40, but instead they're starting on their own 11. A tough start to the drive for the Huskies offense. Actually, they're going to say that they're starting on their own 12, but, picking nits there. Tough play to start. So the Huskies offense on the field led by Devin Frovarp. They're coming out in the flex bone as always. Frovarp takes the snap, hands this one up straight up the gut. And there's a flag on the play as I'm trying to figure out who was the ball carrier that time. It was Eli Miller. And it looks like he got up for a gain of about a yard, but let's see what the flag is here. Personal foul face mask. That's going to be an automatic first down and a 15-yard penalty. Well, there's a fortuitous turn of events for the Huskies after what was a tough start to this ballgame for them.
Otter.
They're down 6-0, and they now have the ball on their own 27. After that play gained at 0 yards. But the personal foul face mask brings them up. Frovarp this time hands this one off the left side and swallowed up by the OTC defense. It was number 25, Quinn Laveau, as it looked like that was Carter Kenyon making the stop. 2nd down and 10 upcoming after Laveau gains 0. Good penetration in the early going by the Bulldogs defense. They'll bring up 2nd and 10. Frovarp in the flex bone once again. He's got Zach McKeel directly behind him. Hard count this time by the Huskies, but they don't draw him off sides. Hand off here this time is off the right side with Jacob Dixon. And he's going to be tackled in the backfield by a host of OTC Bulldogs, and that is going to set Pillager back to 3rd and 11. Outside of that personal foul face mask, it's just been a pretty tough start tonight for the Huskies. See if they can overcome this early on struggles, put them in a tough spot here. It's 3rd down and 11